There are a lot of plays in his film where he's clearly the best guy on the field, reminiscent of Jalen Carter.
All right.
Jer'Zhan Newton, the center of the monstrous Illinois defense from 2022 that had multiple guys get drafted in the first 3 rounds, including Devin Witherspoon, Jartavius Martin, and Sidney Brown. The common theme among all those players is a fiery competitive edge. All these guys play with big chips on their shoulders. For Newton, this energy comes from the fact that there were over 1,000 prospects ranked above him coming out of high school, since he was slightly undersized. Fast forward a few years, and he is now the scariest interior defender in all of college football. His 13 tackles for loss in 2022 were tied for most amongst FBS interior defensive linemen. He also had 59 pressures, most in the Power 5, and was graded as the most valuable interior defender by PFF's wins above average metric. He's been absolutely dominant and seems destined to be a top 10 pick. But could he be the best defensive player in this year's draft? This year's Jalen Carter? Let's take a look at the film. Newton is a very well-rounded and consistent player. He can really do it all on the inside. As a big guy, he can move. Minnesota has an inside zone here going across the quarterback. The whole line is going to shift left, and the right tackle has to beat Newton to the spot, which is not an easy task. Newton needs to be quick to react here to not allow the tackle to cross his face, which he is. He's very quick off the snap, gets his hands up and rides the block to the play side, plays his gap well, and then disposes of the blocker once the cutback occurs. So he won that easily. The fact that he's short actually gives him a leverage advantage, which combined with his monster strength makes him very difficult to move. He's also agile and takes on zone blocks really well. Another zone snap versus Minnesota. Same play, just flipped. Newton explodes off the snap. Look at his get off versus the other guys on the field. He's quickly in position to stop this here. Tackle tries a desperate reach block attempt, but Jer'Zhan hits him with a quick swim, and he's in on the back. There are a lot of plays in his film where he's clearly the best guy on the field, reminiscent of Jalen Carter. The competition might be slightly worse, but still very impressive. How about against gap blocking? Penn State runs it here towards Newton. This lead blocker is supposed to go through the gap here with the back following, but Newton attacks low, strikes with his hands, wins the leverage battle, and creates penetration in the backfield. In all these clips, he's facing guys with legitimate size and is easily winning reps. He's quick to diagnose running plays and is lethal at the point of attack. Let's take a further look at his mental processing. Wisconsin draws up this outside run with 2 pulling offensive linemen, and his tight end is supposed to come down and chip Newton as much as he can. Newton reacts to this play as if he was the one that called it. He takes a wide angle immediately, evading the tight end's block, and then forces the runner back inside towards his help. Just superstar instincts. And now to focus on his hand strength, he's got the power to quickly dispatch offensive linemen. As a 3-tech, he takes on the tackle, stuns him with his hands, and then just throws him off like he's nothing. This guy has serious power. Now, how do you control an offensive lineman? You attack the chest plate. Newton gets in low on the guard here, gets his hands under, and strikes the chest plate, gains full control, and then takes the tackle for a ride. Great technique. Now let's look at some pass rush snaps. This is where the true value comes at the next level. Newton has been the most productive pass rusher from the interior in college football, and that is where his promise is really defined. He's got a plan and a variety of weapons. Even though he's a big dude, he can still use his speed to rush. Here, quarterback with a short drop, Newton one-on-one with the guard, fakes the hands, hits him with a stutter inside, and then back outside, force the QB to step up in the pocket. If this was a deeper drop, it probably would have been a sack. So there's the ghost move. He can also win with his hands. Similar situation, one-on-one with the guard. Slightly deeper drop from the quarterback. He swats the hands, swims over, textbook move, gets the pressure on the quarterback, and this leads to a negative play for the offense. He's very quick in all his movements, and his hand fighting is polished. And then here's the power. Quarterback drops deep. Newton gets his hands in on the chest plate and walks the guard back with pure power from his punch and drive. He bullies this guy and then gets a hit on the quarterback. With all these moves, he displays dominance, constantly establishes leverage, and is efficient with every move he makes. Lastly, here's a play where he just blows everything up on the goal line. He can be a game changer and completely take over plays. So, overall, Newton is a top talent. He plays with great leverage and bend. He's very good as a pass rusher and can win with his hands, with speed, or with power. In the run game, he diagnoses plays early and is decisive with his movements, plays with great balance, technique, and hand strength. He's the best interior defensive lineman prospect this year in the draft and can easily be a top 5 pick. He's a game wrecker. So those are my thoughts on Newton. Please let me know what you think about him in the comments below, and let me know who you want me to spotlight in the next film session. And yeah, man, that's all from me. I'm out.